like Briscoe, best finish of 6th.
Well, and we heard him talk about his crew chief wanting to get better on the road courses, bringing something totally different this weekend. Had the speed in the car with the laps that we were able to run in practice, to the 10 lap average. He was right there at the top of the board. So definitely have found the speed. The thing I want to know is what's going to happen after we get to lap 15 and lap 20 later in these runs, because we saw yesterday a lot of rubber on the racetrack, which creates a lot of fall off.
So do those drivers. That's what they're all trying to protect right here. Manage these tires because we know that the fall off is real.
You hear that car bottoming out still.
33, that's Jesse Love, champion of what's now the O'Reilly Series of NASCAR. And making one of several starts he'll make for Richard Childress Racing here in 2026. And share that seat with Austin Hill, who's running up yesterday.
Well, Jesse's done a good job. I think for him, he's been able to run a few of these races now and getting back to a track that he's able to have some experience on. Going to get into the 60 car. Brian Priest right there, really late into the brakes. That's going to take a little momentum away from him right here and allow Ty Dillon to have an opportunity to get to the inside.
Battling hard here for 27. Onward Racing Cam on board Brian Priest.
Yeah, getting a little bump and thump. A lot of contact right there. As we ride on this Ford Racing camera, you hear Ryan really short shifting that car, and that's a common trend at this racetrack to try to keep the rear tires from spinning. It gets a little wide.
Right side, looking clear.
As they head into turn 19, Jesse Love in the preferred line right there. You want to be all the way over that curve, and he's going to...
I think it's because Priest's protected.
Well, that 19 curve has what we call a hot dog curve, and you actually want to split that curve, so you want to be all the way over to the left right there so that it doesn't bounce and get you too wide on exit.
That's my point, though. 6 looking at the inside again. 60 was protected through there. That's why he was offline. Shane Van Gisbergen started 13th. He's picked up 6 spots, up to 7th place. The biggest mover is Kyle Busch, who has gained 8.
And what we expect the most out of Shane today is on these long runs. He has an ability to really protect the rear tires and keep his car from falling off as much as all the other competitors. So you see him catching this group in front of him, and the longer this run goes, the stronger he will get, we predict, as we think about what he's done in the past.
Regan? Well, guys, that's important what you're saying right there. You think about those 5 straight wins for Shane Van Gisbergen on the road courses. That actually started here at Circuit of the Americas last year. They struggled on the front side of runs, completely changed the setup that they ran the remainder of the season, and brought that setup back here for this weekend. Yesterday, just a little bit too tight with the nose, couldn't get it to turn. Well, so far, it has been all good things for Shane right now in the 97. Back up to second place where Ryan Blaney is tracking down Briscoe. Been a good weekend for Ford in the Truck Series. They swept the first 4 spots at St. Petersburg, something Ford have not done in a couple of decades. Laying some pretty fast lap times down, still in the 140 bracket. Only car in the top 10 right there. Very fast lap times, just like yesterday. 7 complete in stage 1 at Circuit of the Americas.
Race you. Race you on dirt, sand, snow. Race you through this, over that, all day, all night. Race you on 4 wheels, 1 wheel, how about no wheels? Race you with the world watching, this guy watching. Race you to the summit, maybe not that summit, the sub-7, any event, any terrain, any time. Race you.
This is the story of the one. The one knows the unexpected can put everything on the line. But with a teammate like Granger, she's confident that she will always win the day. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
With Chewy Pharmacy, save 20% and make every pet a healthy pet. Get quality meds to help with anything: fleas, allergies, or recoveries, delivered fast. For great prices, for life with pets, there's Chewy Pharmacy.
This is a feeling all over the park. John, I can't get Jurassic Park back online without...
Whoa, this place is awesome. By the way, you should have plugged this in.
Well, this is going to be a lovely weekend. If you like pina colada.
Shouldn't take it down so longer. Did a roar again.
A whole new species of Wi-Fi at the same price for 5 years.
Unlike other value meals, Arby's new $7.99 meat and 3 box has 3 sides, not just one. It's more meal for your money. Seriously, it's more meal for your money. Where'd that come from?
Arby's, we have the meat.
So, Jessica, is there anyone you like?
Like anyone here?
Oh my gosh, let's do home court explorer.
This helps you shop, quote, and buy the right coverage for you, even if it's not with us.
What do you think of this option?
You look so good together.
Don't hate me, I just told him that you're interested.
You did not.
Oh, I know. Let's prank call each other.
That's not how that works, Danny.
NASCAR on Fox is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, revving up the savings on home and auto insurance. Chase Briscoe's led all 7 laps, but for how long? Ryan Blaney has been on Briscoe like a cheap suit.
Yes, he has, and it's just that car is working so much better for him all the way through that stadium section, Kevin. That car is just turning a lot closer, a lot tighter corner in every single one of them.
Yeah, his distance is just way less. But, I mean, when you look at those shallow entries, he's over the curves, lower in the corners, lower on the exit. And to me, that is just a car that, like you say, is turning really well, but something that's going to benefit as we keep running longer and longer into this run.
As long as it doesn't start getting swing happy over here and start sliding the rear tires. That's the balance of this track that you were telling us earlier. High-speed sections over here, laterally the car will start getting loose. And then when it does that, the only fix is to tighten it up for security over here. That's going to make that stadium section worse.
Well, they've been able to drive away from Ross Chastain by 2.3 seconds, while the lap times from the start of the race to now have fallen off about a second and a half.
See Ryan Blaney looking to the inside right here. Another late move.
Again, you can just see how much better that car is turning. It's fine. If he holds on right here, he's going to have the upper hand next corner. There it is.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, Briscoe knows how much better he is and gave him plenty of room to be able to finish that pass.
Play by 1, play by 2.
Maybe you can learn something while you can still see him.
Better learn quick.
So Blaney goes to the lead for Ford. Briscoe's Toyota second, Chastain's Chevrolet is third. A little further back, Shane Van Gisbergen has climbed to 6th right now, and he has the Xfinity fastest lap of the race, which was pretty much a given going in.
And I think for him, he knows the chatter about this racetrack and where he qualified. And when you're on top of the game and you're expected to be the best, it motivates you when people think that this is the week. As you see a late dive right there, and those are the types of things that he's so creative with in making happen at the last second that will surprise people.
And I like what Michael McDowell did right there. He gave Van Gisbergen the corner. That's a veteran road racer move. Get him to pass you where it's not going to hurt your lap time for him. Now here's this morning's team meeting for number 97.
We brought a great race car. Didn't qualify quite like the 1 or 2, but I don't think that's indicative of what kind of car we have for tonight. It's going to come down to 3 things. Exceptional communication, exceptional execution, and let's just go have fun. Like, I think there's been plenty in the last few days that reminded us that we're privileged to do this. So let's just go have fun, kick some ass.
Feeling their big shaking, all right? They 97 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 97.
Larry Mack?
Yeah, I've been watching the data on Shane Van Gisbergen, and to no surprise, he just seems like he's so much smoother with the throttle. He doesn't rush it when he won't take it. Now, he just told Stephen Doran, his crew chief, he said, my car really feels like crap, but based on everybody I'm seeing, their car is a lot worse than what I've got right now. He said, I'm actually starting to get a little bit tight, meaning the car is not turning.
So, Larry, where I'm watching him beat him is through those efforts, and you said it right there. He's smoother on the throttle and with his inputs, with the wheel and everything else. That's his strong suit with his car, and it really is showing up through those efforts in the high-speed part of this track.
And he's become slicker than a grease pig in practice. I mean, he's one of those guys now that knows everybody's watching him, and he'll go out on the racetrack, and he said it to me. He's like, hey, I'll go out there and just make sure my car is good, but I don't want to show everybody what I have in my car, because they all look at the data. They all are trying to imitate what he is doing. So
I don't know how slick that is, Kevin. It is slick. Sounds pretty slick.
Ryan Blaney has now distanced himself from Chase Briscoe by 1.3 seconds. Jamie?
Yes, Ryan Blaney picking up right where he left off in practice. And I was talking to his crew chief this morning, Jonathan Hassler. He said last year's tire fall was the biggest issue. And he said with the changes they brought here, he was looking forward to seeing the later part of his stage, exactly laps 11 to 20. All other crew chiefs, they were worried, concerned about it, because in practice they only saw 10 or 11 laps on these tires. But this team, very optimistic. The changes they make will stay.
A new term in the NASCAR lexicon, and we've heard it a lot this weekend, tire deg. And deg is short for degradation, and we've heard a lot of drivers talking about it. Absent Van Gisbergen, of course.
Well, and when I watch Ryan Blaney right here, the thing I like is his style is to get that car turning good. He's able to climb the curves and like we talked earlier, keep everything narrowed up and use that throttle. A lot of partial throttle here. So when that car is turning, you can just touch the throttle, baby the thing through the center of the corner, get it to that 3/4 mark of the corner, and then start trying to get full throttle. So if it doesn't fall off right now, he's got the pace.
Well, let's dive into that a little bit deeper, Kevin. All right, you say he gets his car turning well. Well, typically what that means is you got to free the car up, be looser, but somehow his ability behind the wheel, his inputs with the throttle and everything else, he can keep the rear tires under him.
And a lot of that is making the car drive to a driver's driving style. You want to say this guy's fast and his car's like this, well, that's fine, but I don't drive it like that. And I think sometimes you got to fit into the driver's style to make it work.
Ryan Blaney's last lap, 1.7 seconds off of his fastest lap of the day so far. Ford, Toyota, Chevy, Blaney, Briscoe, Chastain.
I've been told my whole life that I'm pretty fast. For a girl. Well, I hate to break it to you, but that's not true. Because with the right team, you write your own story. So no, I'm not fast for a girl. I'm fast, period.
Wait a minute, get it how you live it. 10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm
Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Pod's Epic Savings Event has been extended. Now save up to 25% until March 2nd and see why Pod's is America's #1 container moving company. Whether you're relocating or renovating, save up to 25% at pods.com today.
Thanks for coming in to talk about that, Junior.
Of course. Third grade is when I learned Liberty Mutual could save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
Why don't you come sit with us?
Oh, little snug. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty.
The Bush Guy, cold and smooth survival skills. If red touches yellow, it'll kill a fellow. But if blue touches white, it's flight. Head for the mountains.
We'll come back later.
Imagine that. Fresh Sheet Day could become Fresh Sheet Week. With Downy April Fresh, you can climb into more freshness. Night after night for up to 7 days. Downy breathes life into your laundry.
Bro, look at this.
not listen to that.
Thank you, man.
I know how it feels.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor, where heat meets pineapple sweet, where chicken meets the sizzle of the grill, and where fans meet their favorite. Chicken Al Pastor, where fire meets flavor.
Welcome back to the Duramax Texas Grand Prix on Fox, presented by Toyota. Today's aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. Tried, tested, proven legendary. Ryan Blaney has led the last 5 laps after Chase Briscoe was out front for the first 8. Ross Chastain in second, Briscoe third. Van Gisbergen's worked his way from 13th to 4th. And Michael McDowell holding strong in the top 5. There's Tyler Reddick trying to win the first 3 races in a row, but he has dropped 6 spots since the start of this race. No conversation on the radio, just grinding it out.
As you look on from the Triple Cam right here from Chris Buescher, this guy, he's actually been the most consistent road racer in this Gen 7 car from an average finish standpoint. So back to 10th place. Decisions are swift. At home in the ring. It's like I live in this beat.
Connor Dillard started this race back in 25th. He has gained 8 spots. Up to 17. Now let's get 10. 8 for Zillich, 10 for Van Gisbergen. Larson, Bush, and John Hunter Nemechek among the biggest movers. Jamie?
Connor Dillard from London. At this racetrack, made his Truck Series debut a couple of years ago, made his Cup Series debut last year, and I talked to him before he got in the car, and he said running the O'Reilly race yesterday, he really got a feel for tire management.
He came from the back to the front yesterday and was in position for a top 5, got dumped by another car, and not the result that he should have had.
Well, he's in for a steep learning curve. Even it's something that we expect him to be good at. He expects himself to be good at. He's doing a great job today. But when you go back to the qualifying sessions, I mean, that's a fine line of how you drive this Cup car compared to what you can get away with in your Trans Am car, your O'Reilly car, and all the other cars. This car is very unique to be able to know how and where to push.
See Chase Elliott there in 12th. He's dropped 7 spots since the start of this race. Carson Hocevar just ahead of Zillich in 15, running close to where he started. Alex Bowman's picked up a few spots. Kyle Larson has picked up 6.
Yeah, and you see the 20 car right there getting passed by Kyle Larson. Last year's winner, Christopher Bell. Kind of a mixed bag. You know, as far as these Toyotas go, we saw Chase Briscoe take off, getting into that point of the run where you're going to see what the handling characteristics are of your car that you hadn't been in yet. So all these guys are learning right now as they go along.
Larry, Matt, 5.5 laps to go to the end of this first stage. I imagine we're going to see some different thoughts on whether stage points or positioning for the win here is more of a possibility.
Yeah, no question, Mike. I think we'll see 3 different agendas. Remember, they closed pit road at the end of the stage with 2 to go in the leader crosses start finish line. I look for like Ryan Blaney, maybe Ross Chastain. Those will wait for 2 to go. But I think if you're well behind them, and you're going to flip the stage, you're going to have to come with 3 to go in 2 laps. But, Mike, I think there's a number of drivers here that know they don't have a car that can contend for the win. They just want stage points. I think about Joey Logano. I think about Denny Hamlin. They make running out to the end of the stage without pitting, trying to score stage points.
Well, we're seeing it 45 coming back like we talked about. Here's some radio.
Back up for racing later. Good at the moment. Just need to go a little harder to start. Got it out.
Well, and that's a conversation about Tyler actually trying to take care of the tires, not wanting to hurt the rear tires on the car. But we're definitely seeing him flip flip the pace back in his favor as we go, but how many spots can you actually lose and make them back up?
Well, 8 with his, how many he lost. He went clear back to 8, now he's back up to 5th, so it's coming back to him on the long run. Might have protected a little too much there. Lesson learned, right? Meanwhile, Chase Briscoe led 8 laps early. Did he burn his stuff up because he's fallen to 6th place? Yes.
And that's what they're all trying to understand, because you don't want to do it twice, right? You need to run the car how you had planned to run it and as hard as you can run it, because the tendencies of the race car are going to speak for themselves as you go through this run. So you see A.J. Allmendinger right here going down inside of Christopher Bell into turn 19. Bell into pit road.
So Christopher Bell, last year's winner, becomes one of the first of the contenders to pit, along with William Byron and Kyle Larson. Josh, he's Christopher Bell. He had like a pretty long time to start the race strong. But then it's such a losing to keep on driving, especially with the market. A 4-tire change and a fill-up with Sunoco Race with zero carbon bioethanol.
Well, Christopher Bell, he's one of those cars that I had some questions with as to whether they would go after the points, but obviously they want to put themselves in as good a position as possible to keep their track position in the front.
Ryan Blaney has opened up a huge lead, 6 seconds on Ross Chastain. And Chastain, 2.5 seconds up on Van Gisbergen.
Yeah,
cycled the third.
Yeah, it looks like SVG's car is kind of falling off a little bit, so.
Just picking him up and putting him down with Ryan Blaney. I mean, the only car, he's the second faster in the field right now. Why?
Well, the interesting part is going to be when these guys start pitting on pit road. We saw a few of them come to pit road. Is what's going to happen with the used tires compared to the new tires? What position does that put you in?
Reddick and Briscoe are in. Connor Zilic, Joey Logano coming to pit road, along with Todd Gilliland and Regan.
Well, Mike, you see the 45 car, Tyler Reddick coming down pit road there. So far, like the radio just said a moment ago, all good in the car, but this is consistent with what happened yesterday. Felt like maybe they actually saved a little bit too much tire at the end of the practice session. He's just trying to manage how hard he can go at what parts of which runs.
Roughly a third of the field pitted here with 3 to go in the stage.
My downfall is not in my view. I only look up, I will not be subdued. Can never submit. Position is grip. The mission persists like it's built out of bricks. In the gym I commit, knocking shit out of hit equipment till I lose the feel in my fists. Precision my gift. Decisions are swift. At home in the ring. It's like I live in this.
I'm so impressed with the progress that this 12 car has made on the road courses, and just the way that, how much different that car looks and the way he's able to drive it, Glenn.
I mean, it's literally second, 142.94, 143.87. Amazing how fast that car is still in his long run. Usually when they take off that fast, somewhere it hurts. Usually the long run, not the case for the 12, sorry. Excuse me. Blaney won on the Roval at Charlotte in 2018, but he's not had a top 5 on a road course with this 7th gen car. And here's the leader on pit road. Jamie?
The countdown as he comes to a stop. No changes here. Obviously, the car very good for Ryan Blaney. They like what we're seeing so far. They'll fill it up in 4
None of the rest of the top 10 that came in, and pits are now closed with the new leader, Ross Chastain, going past start finish with 2 to go in the stage.
And I think with this new chase format and all the points that you have, you see Ross Chastain, you see SVG, some of these guys that have had okay finishes, but maybe don't know exactly where they are in the points and have some questions about where they might need to be. And SVG for sure, taking those points as we know he's still learning on the ovals.
Gibbs, Bowman, those guys, they're in dire need of some points, there's a good opportunity for them to do it. Ross Chastain, top 10 in 5 races here, including his win in 2022.
Do it for the sport. Do it for the coach. I'm undisputed.
Larson pitted earlier, and so did Tyler Reddick. Regan, what's the strategy for Chastain?
Well, Mike, this is exactly what the one team wanted to see happen for Ross Chastain. Crew Chief Brandon McSwain told me this morning, he said if the opportunity presents itself to maximize points because of this new point structure, that they would do that. So, Kevin, you guys had it exactly right. That was part of the plan from the start of this race for them.
Before becoming crew chief for Ross this year, Brandon McSwain was lead engineer for William Byron, including Byron's win here in 24.
We want to go in the stage right here on a 3.5 second gap on the 97.
But as we get done with this stage, you know, these guys that pitted, Ryan Blaney's going to have a couple laps on his tire. Everybody else is going to have 3 laps on their tires. I'm interested to see what's going to happen when we fire off into this next stage, when all these guys that stayed on the racetrack to collect those points are going to have those sticker tires. We see the fall-off, but it's creeping in on 4 seconds for these guys. Some of them already at 4 seconds. So there's going to be a balance of whether you can or can't stay out. Yesterday in the O'Reilly race, we saw all those guys pit with like 6 or 7 laps to go. So this is going to be interesting at the start of stage 2. But right now, Ross Chastain out front, looking to win this stage and take those points home.
So to see on our pylon, of the top 22, the only one who's been to pit road is Blaney, currently 14th. So 21 drivers have not been to pit road. The rest of the 37-car field has. Final lap of stage 1, which is 20 laps. The next stage will be 25. And the final stage, 50 laps.
Ross always been good at this racetrack. Got Trackhouse Racing's first win here. Qualified on the front row today. Track he's very comfortable with.
Look at that top 5. Past winners on road courses in the NASCAR Cup Series. Turn 20 and headed for the green and white checkered flag. Ross Chastain is going to get a stage win on a road course. Van Gisberg in second, 2.5 seconds back. Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, A.J. Allmendinger, the top 5. Gibbs, Bowman, Elliott, Hocevar, and Hamlin will reach that stage point. But Ross is the boss in stage 1.
With schizophrenia, it can feel like your symptoms decide what you do and who you can be. If you have symptoms, be bold and ask your healthcare provider about Cobenfy, a twice-daily pill for schizophrenia. Cobenfy was created with a different approach in mind and delivered improvement in schizophrenia symptoms overall. Plus, in clinical studies, most people saw no substantial weight gain.
Don't take if allergic to Cobenfy, have trouble emptying your bladder or stomach, certain liver problems, or untreated narrow-angle glaucoma. Serious side effects such as urinary retention, worsening liver, kidney, bile duct, and gallbladder problems, slow stomach emptying, serious allergic reaction, narrow-angle glaucoma, increased heart rate, and side effects in those with kidney problems may occur. Don't drive or use heavy machinery until you know how Cobenfy affects you. Seek help right away if you have hives, swelling of your face, lips, mouth, tongue, or throat, hoarseness, difficulty speaking, breathing, or emptying your bladder.
Imagine what could be Cobenfy.
Hey, buddy. Morning. I'm a stickler for good dental care. Me too. Ooh, looking sharp today. But even if we take care of our teeth, we can still get, no, please don't say it, a big dental bill. That's why dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company is important. Now, this isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. It helps pay for over 400 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. That's a lot. It's easy to find out more. Just call or go online now to get your free information kit with all the details. This dental insurance helps you pay for routine care and expensive major procedures, all with no deductibles and no annual maximums. You can even keep your dentist. Why pay more for dental care? Get your free info kit and start saving today. Call or visit physiciansmutualdental.com. Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Car accident? At Jacoby Myers, when we get justice for you, it can make a big difference in your life. Here's what that means. Insurance offer, $35,000. The Jacoby Myers result, $500,000. Insurance offer, $0. Our result, $2 million. Insurance offer, $100,000. Our result, $4.65 million. That's the difference experience makes. Jacoby Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
Madera, we got you covered. Box 26.
You guys, Wendy's has new Biggie deals starting at just $4. So now you can decide how biggie you want to go, which is kind of beautiful. I'm not condensating, you're condensating. More Biggie options so you can get more of what you really want at Wendy's.
You have a funny accent in Daytona. I feel strange. It is way more difficult than being Arizona. Who's the best driver in the world? You're rewarded for aggression in Infinity Park. Fell asleep, crashed off the road.
You fell asleep while you
fell
were
asleep driving. I think NASCAR drivers get the international recognition that they should. I got my first decent check, and I went and bought like some stupid fast triple fork boat.
They're not having any fun, are they? Check it out. It's the all-new Fox Sports digital show Speed with Harvick and Buxton, fueled by Poet. Subscribe.
Family.
Do it for the coach.